Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boxing Unlimited here once again, and today we're going to be talking about. Well, first and foremost, we have to pay homage and um, talk about a little bit about George Foreman and the rumble in the jungle that made him very popular. And now that all the actors in the rumble in the jungle are no more, the two of them, Muhammad Ali and George Foreman. However, the title of this video we're making is Rumble in the Jungle, All the Shenanigans. We're going to be talking about things that never appeared in the press, things that seem not to have happened, things that happened underneath. That is what we're going to talk about in this video that we're making today, that I'm making today. It's still called The Rumble in the Jungle, All the Shenanigans. Why do I say all the shenanigans? You see, we start from Muhammad Ali because he's the major actor in the film and he won the fight. We start with him. May his soul rest in peace anyway. And that of George Foreman, both of them, may their soul rest in peace. Now, Muhammad Ali, we remember that 1967 he was stripped of all his titles for not going to Vietnam, the Viet Cong. He said, I'm not going to go to the Viet Cong because I have no issues with them. I don't have any problem with Viet Cong, so I'm not going to go and fight them. So he didn't go. He was enlisted. And then at the end of the day, he was stripped of all his undisputed heavyweight title, all the titles. The titles he won from Sonny Liston in 1964, he was stripped of them. And then what happened later was after 1970, after going to court and several times and everything, and he was installed, he was permitted to box in America again. But all over the other places in the world, he was recognized as a world champion because they had no problem with him not going to Vietnam. But in America, where boxing is, it was, did I say rejected or vilified, so to say, because of the fact that he did not go to Vietnam. So when he came out in 1970, Smoking Joe Frazier was already the champion. He defeated Quarry in their fight and became the world champion in 1970 and then had the belt. Muhammad Ali, for all intents and purposes, said he never lost his belt in the ring, so he's still the champion. So when he met up with Frazier in 1971, Frazier knocked him down in the final round and won the fight on unanimous decision. Ali was nowhere to be found. Ali was, because the Ali that came out at then wasn't the Ali that was, because of lack of training, lack of fight, lack of practice, and there's so many other things. So this Ali now came up, he wanted to fight, because by 1973, well, Ali fought King Norton and lost to King Norton as well. Then in 1973, the young George Foreman, fresh from the Olympics, 19 years old, came out and bombasted everybody just like he did in the Olympics in Mexico in 1968. He took away Frazier, picked up his title in Jamaica in 1973, and then came after Ken Norton and knocked him out in Venezuela in round 2. And then these are two guys that have already beaten Muhammad Ali. So at the end of the day, people were thinking Ali is a washed up old dog, as they call it in boxing. He's washed up. There's nothing again for him in boxing, And but people who knew Ali knew that Ali was a phenomenon. There's nothing you will take away from Ali, Having said that, Ali was looking for a way to regain his titles because you see, causal in title, he never lost it in the ring. And then up came Don King and Bobaron. This was another, because this fight, the rumble in the jungle, made many people across the board. Bobaron was a young lawyer coming up, fresh, trying to beef up his promotional company, top rank, build it up. And then Don King just came out of jail for manslaughter, and then And it came out in 1968 exactly, and he was promoting little shows all over the town, all over the place, making himself known. But Ali was in need of the title, and the Foreman didn't want to play ball with him because the advisors of Foreman at that time, told him not to fight Muhammad Ali, that he's a bad guy, that there's no need for him to fight since he's beaten two people who had beaten Muhammad Ali, and he has knocked them out. These two people gave him the tough time. Their fight went to distance all through, But what happened later was something else. Foreman didn't want to fight, and then Don King came over to Muhammad Ali in his gym where he was training, and told Muhammad Ali that he would get the fight. He would get the fight with Foreman, and Muhammad Ali was happy. He told him, "Look, if you do this, you will promote all my fights." But Don King wanted to promote Muhammad Ali, but Muhammad Ali said to him, "You wanted to manage Muhammad Ali's boxing career," but Muhammad Ali refused, and said, "Okay, I'll make you promote all my fights till I retire if you get the fight with me." So the King went to work. He's a sugar-coated tongue. Came over to Foreman. Foreman was just 24 years old. He's a young guy, 23, 24 years old. He's a fresh from Olympics, undefeated, knocking everybody out, even including Chivalo, who gave Muhammad Ali, problems. And Muhammad Ali accepted that whenever he hit Chivalo on the jaw, he felt the pains on his hands. Having said this, then Muhammad Ali said, "Okay, get this guy to fight me, and I'll give you all my fights till I retire." And then, just like Don King said, he went to Foreman and spoke to Foreman, sugar-coated tongue, convincing him that Muhammad Ali was finished, and Muhammad Ali was washed up, that it was easy money, and the money involved then, it was $4.5 million apiece, whoever wins. And then they looked for the promotional body of Obara and came. They were convinced. They also went and convinced Mobutu Sese Seko in Zaire, now Congo, a.k.a. Congo. They convinced him to sponsor this fight, And the man agreed, and then videos of people watch this fight on television, and that is why it's one of the most popular fights ever. It's the most popular fights ever in the history of boxing. This fight brought out the phrase Ali Boumaye. You know what happened before this phrase came out? When Foreman landed in Zaire, Kinshasa, he came out with a German Shepherd dog, as a guide, And Muhammad Ali came out friendly, chatting with chatting with everybody his way. And then they stayed in the hotel. And then when Muhammad Ali was there doing his road walk or running around, the kids, the children, and the people come out and join him in the war. But Foreman never gave them that option. In fact, they felt angered by Foreman because he brought the dogs, the German Shepherd dogs, the colonial master used it in chasing them away when there's a riot, when the people of Congo rioted. That was the story. This story, I'm telling you, is from the book, The Greatest Autobiography of Muhammad Ali. And go and check it out and watch the things we're saying here. Verify and come back to us through our comment sections. So Muhammad Ali, before even the fight, Muhammad Ali had a Cuban called Budini, who is his spirit builder. He gives his spirit all the time when he's fighting. A spirit builder is actually a psychologist. We saw what he did when Ali's jaw was broken by Norton in the ring. If you watch that fight, you will hear Muhammad Ali said, he asked Budini, does it sound when your jaw broken? And he said, you'll be bleeding from all. He explained to him how it does. And he started crying, and Budini started crying in the field. And Muhammad Ali said, look, you can't stop this fight because the jaw was broken in round 2. And he went on to do do the 15 rounds as he was then. Now, Muhammad Ali and Budini used to go, before the major fight, they used to go to the cemetery and pray. Muhammad Ali prays, they stage there, prays to his ancestors, and then before he comes into the fight. He did the same thing on Foreman fight, and it was good for him. But when the fight came in proper, because the fight has been postponed and all the tension and everything, Muhammad Ali, as we know him, has already run down to the press and said anybody who sees a 6'3" cage or box or truck or anything that the Foreman is hiding there, that you hold him, he's trying to run away. You know, the hype of the whole thing was by Muhammad Ali. Foreman, on his own part, said he developed a punch they call anywhere punch. Wherever he hits you that punch, you must go down and you must feel the pain. So that is really what I call started the rope-a-dope section, because Muhammad Ali said in the fight proper that first and foremost, if he moves 2 steps backwards, Foreman moves 1 step forward, Foreman catches him. And he knows that towards the end of the rounds that he will get fatigued. So he said, look, I can't be moving that way. And because this guy takes only 1 step to catch me, but I'm moving 2 steps backwards, I will tire before the end of the fight, and it will affect my performance. So he said to himself, and then before then, he got a knock, a punch to the head by Foreman. And he said he felt as if he was carrying the whole Kinshasa stadium on his head. And that's it. And the pain he felt, made him go back to the ring. Because if you see, every round that they come out, you see Angelo Dende, Budini, and his corner men, almost pushing him out and say, Ali move, they keep shouting, Ali dance fly like a butterfly and sting like a bee, sting like a bee. They keep saying that Ali, reminding him he said in his mind, according to him in his book, he said in his mind, these guys don't know what I'm seeing. Because the kind of punches Foreman was throwing, he was throwing forces from a clubbing punch, from grand boom hooks. All the hooks were coming in. And anyway, it's one of those things. And Muhammad Ali devised, then he thought of a system that will work, that is rope-a-dope, soak him up, make him tire, because he's a young man, he hasn't got that kind of experience, make him tire, and then towards the end you finish him up. And then as the fight was going on, every time he goes to the ring, stays and covers up, and all the punches are coming to the arms, hitting him on the arms, and he's blocking off. And then Foreman suddenly gasped in round 5, round 6, round 7. He gasped in round 8, and Muhammad Ali took over. Muhammad Ali said as soon as Foreman came close to him, he was breathing through his mouth. We saw him, he wasn't steady on his foot anymore. He said to himself, it is now or never. And that is when he rocked him with that 2 hands to the head. And then the left hook, and then the combination. And then Foreman went spring round, and they fell with his head to the floor. And that was the fall alone killed Foreman. That's why he didn't get up. And that is history today. And that is what we're talking about today. And that is why we'll call it the shenanigans, all the shenanigans. All this is being said and said, done. And the phrase is being made on the fight. All of them like Ali Bumaye, Ali kill him. Ali kill him. And one would have wondered who was the whiter between both of them. Ali was the more fair-skinned one. And Foreman was the more blacker one, and still the people were queuing for Muhammad Ali and say, Ali kill him, Ali Bumaye, Ali Bumaye, Ali Bumaye, and it became like a song, it made history. This fight actually was watched by more than 1 billion people worldwide on Prime TV, Prime Time TV, and it was all sponsored by Mobutu Sese of Zaire, a.k.a. Congo now. And that is the story, that is what we call it the shenanigans, all the shenanigans, the things that took place during the fight. My time is up, I'm done. Do have a nice day and God bless.